home. All kind of thing. Oh, I've got a colouring book for growing up.
Are you having these?
Well, I've got a feeling I'm going to just tip these everywhere.
What are you going to
That's my only problem. I'm thinking a bracelet.
bracelet?
Yes, I've got some wire.
Have you got some letters?
Is it stretchy wire?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh,
Okay.
got thing.
So you could make it flexible, and there's scissors and stuff in there. So
Okay. I need to have something. I don't need my eyes on.
the smallest pair of scissors.
They're a pair of free.
This
prisoners
takes
tiny.
me back when we used to do the art table when we were here. Absolutely, years ago, don't
What
we?
else?
Yeah.
When we used to get too hot and we used to all take our wigs off.
Take your wigs off. Yeah.
And hot flushes.
Hot flushes.
Did we used to have conversations about putting knickers in the freezer or something? Well, probably shouldn't say that, but we did.
That was why it was the naughty corner.
That was why
It was
we
really
were
good.
just too hot all the time. It was always the thing about the naughty corner was I think they called it the naughty corner after we all arrived.
Well, we were quite rowdy, weren't we, really?
We were a bit rowdy, yeah.
And nothing was off the table. We used to just literally talk about everything, didn't we?
Yeah. And if it was off the table, we used to go for breakfast somewhere else and do the really off the table stuff.
And we used to cry a lot as well, didn't we? As well
Yeah.
as laughing.
Yeah. We used to cry and then we used to cry laughing afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of hugs, lots of.
And then at the end, when everyone was supposed to go home,
we were still there.
we'd run over by about half an hour because we were still deep in conversation, weren't we?
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about lunches, and weren't we? How we used to have beautiful lunches and soups, and
Yeah.
it was just a real place, a real haven of TLC, wasn't it?
I think with the nautical, when you were doing your crafts, because you're not looking people in the eye,
Yeah.
it gave you that kind of confidence to be able to say what you wouldn't say if you were looking somebody in the face. Or
Yeah. And also, I think when you've had a diagnosis and you're dealing with treatment, your anxiety levels are so high. I can remember at that particular time, I couldn't read a book or watch anything on the television because my brain was so busy with all the rubbish stuff that was going on, waiting for results and things like that, and actually doing the art. It just switched off all that anxiety just for a few hours. Well, actually, for the whole day that I was here, really, with your
giving you
treatment.
something to think about other than
Yeah,
illness, I guess.
yeah, that's right. So it was very beneficial, I thought.
You have to think we didn't know each other from Adam when we started, did we? We just had
No.
that common
Yeah,
experience that we were going through, didn't we?
yeah.
Sit and have lunch, eat the food.
I wonder how many other
Love.
people have the experience that, you know, that maybe have carried on friendships and yeah, you don't know, do you? You don't know if we're like the lucky few or whether it happened to a lot. How is it? How's it feel now being back as a volunteer now?
It's really interesting because this place always felt like a safe place for me and somewhere like a bit of a haven, like I said earlier. So actually coming back feels like coming home, which sounds really weird because it wasn't home, but it was a home for me at the time. And you guys being here with me is just like spot on, really. So because I've been in a few times over the last few months where I haven't been in for years, it's really nice to come back and feel like it's the same place. Because I'm coming back to volunteer. I definitely wanted to volunteer in this building. So there's something about this building that
Yeah.
has real comfort for me.
Yeah, even though it was a horrible time, it
Even though
still
it was
feels a really nice
it's a really
place.
positive place in that horrible time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel. It's the first time you've been back for ages.
I haven't set foot in here since it happened 12, 13 years ago. And it is. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I wish that I could have some soup because I just remember we used to sit around. We used to have food fit for a king, didn't we?
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
And yeah, it is. It's sort of like, it's like meeting up with an old friend, really, because when you're in times of trouble, one of your friends would give you a big hug. And I think really it was just a really big hug here, you know, because sometimes I used to feel so rotten if I'd had my chemotherapy. you know, you were kind of thinking, oh, am I going to make it to the hospice on this Wednesday afternoon? And you just force yourself to come
Oh, I
here. And as
remember
soon
that.
as you walk through the
Yeah.
door, they used to say, oh, you feeling all right? And we'd be like, no, you know, and they'll be like, oh, that's okay, because you can have some aromatherapy, you know,
Yeah.
you can have some Reiki. And, you know, by the time you left, you'd had such a laugh. It was just, you know, so yeah, it is. It's
And I think
very-
it's that it's being around people that got how you feel as well. I think
Yeah.
because you can have all your family around you and your friends and things, but nobody really understands it unless you've
yeah.
been through it, I guess. I think, and just some of the side effects that you don't want to talk about with other people.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that's the thing as well, because I felt really struggled, because although I had, you know, quite a lot of friends when I was diagnosed, I found it really hard talking to them about what I was going through, because I kind of felt like I didn't really want to bring them down.
Yeah.
And it just felt like having those conversations with them would just make them feel like they didn't want to see me, because
And sometimes
I was making
they
them...
can't deal with it.
No,
can they?
no, and I did actually lose a couple of friendships where friends just couldn't deal with it
Yeah.
I did.
and just disappeared.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think sometimes you're forced into that space of, oh, you're so positive and, you know, you're dealing with it really well, almost to the point that you think, can I have a bad day? You know?
yeah,
You'd be
yeah,
able to
because
do all the
everyone's
time.
expecting you to be,
This
because you've put
superhuman-
up this front, and then everyone expects you to be like that all the time, but it's not, you can't maintain it all the time.
No, you
No.
can't. Your mask has to drop eventually, doesn't
Yeah,
it? And it definitely did here for me. It's
Yeah.
just that mutual understanding of people understanding how you feel and, yeah, just...
It's really nice.
Not
to
having
have
to put
that.
a brave face on, especially when you've got husbands or partners or kids at home.
Yeah.
Put your brave face on for them.
That's it.
where
It's
you
just
can
a
actually
place
come
where
away
you
without
can
a
come
brave
in and
face.
just let it all out, and nobody will bat an eyelid.
How did it feel when you first when you were referred here or came here and you
God,
just
I
had to
remember-
walk through the door?
Yeah, I remember the doctor said to me, I think you should go to the hospice, I think it'd be really positive for you. And I'm thinking, absolutely, no way am I going there. I'm not going to die. And I was so adamant that wasn't going to happen. And she was such a lovely GP. That I thought, oh, I'll go because she's asked me to. And I just remember thinking, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to go here. And within really minutes of arriving, I just kind of felt really relaxed, really put at ease and safe. I think maybe it feels like a safe place, doesn't it? And then we bumped into each other within
Well, when
weeks, didn't we,
I
really?
was the same as you. I just literally thought, why on earth do they want me to go to a hospice? There's got to be something they're not telling me here. And then I sat down and got to know everybody and thought, actually, this is quite nice. Maybe I'm going to be okay, you know. But I literally just thought it was a trick, and that they were just getting me in, and then they were going to give me some more bad news, you know. But I can remember the first time I met you, sitting around the art table.
Do you?
I thought, flippin' heck, she's pretty. And I thought, is she a volunteer or is she actually a patient?
Because I had hair, didn't
Because
I?
you had hair.
Yeah.
And
Did
I
lose my
thought-
hair.
I literally thought, I'm not quite sure what she's supposed to be doing.
I think
And
I
then
thought the same at dinner table.
And then ultimately, you know,
Because I think I was the only person with hair.
yeah.
Yeah, you were. You were definitely in the minority in the hair
And I
department.
think that's a real misconception that all chemotherapy makes you lose
Well,
your
basically,
hair.
you had a different type of chemotherapy because you had a different type of cancer,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah.
So you had,
cervical cancer.
yeah.
And yeah, I think I was the only cervical cancer patient. Actually, everybody else seemed to. With you three, you all had breast cancer.
Yeah. So how did you discover that then?
That I had cervical
Yeah.
cancer. I just really with a smear, and it just kind of developed really fast, and kind of went from stage 1 to stage 2 within weeks. And after treatment, I was told it was, when I came here, I was told it was stage 4.
Yeah.
And I was, and it was incurable. But obviously, we all know that didn't happen. So I feel really kind of grateful. But yes, definitely here. I really didn't want to come because I was really against. I was determined that I wasn't going to pass away from this. I was determined that I was going to stay alive. And coming here felt like I was admitting defeat, that that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But
So-
you weren't, though, were you? You weren't admitting defeat, and you never did.
No, I never did. So yeah, coming here it was really emotional, I think, to start with, but honestly, it's one of the best things I've ever done. And every time, it wasn't just the first time. So I went through so many different treatments, so many different kind of tests, and waiting to see if I'd get funding for the treatment I had in London, and all those sorts of things. And it was here every time. So I'd sometimes have a break away from it, and then kind of come back when I was back in another treatment stream, and it was just always here.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
See, for me, because I had breast cancer, then literally a year later, I was diagnosed a second time, different cancers, opposite side. I'd coped really well first time round, and then I fell apart, and that's why I was referred
Well,
here.
you would when you've been through it for a whole year,
know.
and then you have to go through it all
Exactly
again.
the same again. So I thought the same. I'm going to go there. There's going to be like really sick people in beds. It's going to be like a fibber
Yeah. I didn't
living
know what to
mortuary. I don't know
expect.
what to expect. And it couldn't have been further from the truth in terms of the warmth and the friendliness and the community feel about it, rather than it being a clinical. I've worked in hospitals all my life, so I know what a clinical environment feels like, and
Yeah.
it didn't
And I
feel
think
like that.
you've been in wards, kind of chemo wards as well, and seen those desperately, even though you're really ill yourselves, you see some desperately unwell people, and you thought, oh, is it going to be the, and
I don't want to see that if that's going to be me. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think I was quite scared to start with. I think because it was suggested to me from the breast care clinic at the Helen Clark Suite at Warwick Hospital, suggested I come. And because I was really struggling. I mean, I was 39, so we were both quite young, weren't we? I was 39 when I was diagnosed.
Yeah, I was 39.
Which is young for
Yeah.
breast cancer diagnosis. And
Thanks for reminding me of my age.
sorry. There's no ages round this table.
no. I was only,
But-
I was only 29.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And you just think, and it's crazy, really. You think you're almost indestructible at that sort of age, don't you? You feel like you've gone through so much, and now it just really hit me hard. And coming here, I think when it was suggested to me, I was a bit worried because I wasn't sure what to expect, and I was thinking, why do they want me to go? And it would have been really helpful if they'd explained a bit more why it would have been of benefit to me, because I didn't get it. And then when I got here, it felt like a sanctuary.
Yeah, it is a sanctuary, actually, yeah.
It just,
I mean, I can remember making a conscious decision before I found my lump to lose weight before my 40th birthday. And in actual fact, losing 4 stone through diet and exercise, and it caused me to find my lump.
Oh, really?
So I was
don't think
just
I knew that.
especially miffed off because, of course, the oncologists, they give it you straight, don't they? There's no,
Yeah,
they
no.
try and soften everything. And they said, oh, your hair's going to fall out. We are going to bombard you with chemo because you're young and it's a belt and braces approach. But your hair will fall out and you might lose a few nails. And he said, no, and you will put your weight back on. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
How soul destroying.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I did. But then I
think-
lost it again.
It wasn't just a sanctuary for us, families as well, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
families could have counselling or support.
Yeah,
or,
counselling was great.
and even just coming on the first day and to give you a bag of goodies you take home. It's just like, you just feel treated from the day
I
one.
forgot about that. Yeah, we did. I got bags of kind of smellies and.
Louisa looks like you've got.
And I was always...
smelly.
I don't think I did get a bag of any goodies. I'm feeling really left out now.
I did.
I can remember always being really, really against like massage and all this. I just thought, oh, what an absolute load of rubbish. But coming in and just aching and just having your whole body and just having somebody rubbing your feet for you. or-
Reflexology.
Yeah.
Reflexology.
Oh, I used to love the
fall asleep.
reflexology.
I mean, that was, yeah, and even to this day now, I love a massage, whereas before I'd have never done that.
It's interesting because we're living in a world of clinical medicines and appointments and examinations to actually open your mind to a holistic alternative.
Well, it's like a
medicine
full-time job having cancer, isn't it, with the appointments and
Very
the
true.
anxiety and the lack of sleep. So to come here and be pampered,
And I'd lost my job as well, so
you
yeah.
did.
So I just felt I'd just moved here, so I didn't really know anybody. I'd lost my.
Stuff. I didn't know you just moved here.
Yeah, I'd only just moved here. yeah, we'd all just moved massive beat and hadn't got a job anymore. It was all just, I felt really lost. So, yeah, it was really, made some really friends for life, haven't I?
Yeah,
So,
Well, yeah, we're not going anywhere, are we?
So, yeah, it's been, it was absolutely wonderful. And like I say, it's just nice, even I think, for your family to know that you're somewhere being looked after.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary could go to work knowing that I had a day where I was being looked after. Absolutely.
Yeah, didn't have to.
Yeah, because it gave our family some respite.
Yeah, gave them a break.
You know, lolling around the house and lying on the sofa and
Looking like
Watching Escape to the Country.
yeah.
Homes under the hammer.
Daytime TV hell.
It was really good. And he's not even overhyping it. It's
No, it's not. No, I mean literally, we used to come in some days crying. You know, oh, my chemotherapy, and I've been on the loo all night. You know, and they'd be like, well, why don't you come and sit with me for a bit, and you know, and maybe we can get you some reflexology, or you could smell these nice oils, and you know, it's just. It was great.
I think the thing was as well, it was always trying to be well enough to make sure you could come, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was always
I
my
used to
big
come
thing.
on. I used to come in when I was dead on
Yeah,
my feet
yeah.
because I just used to think, well, I can just have a little lie down when I get there.
Yeah. He was really relaxed in that as well. If you just wanted to, or having my nails painted and
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
And actually, they used to have to force me to sit down. I can make my own tea. No, we'll make your cup of tea. I can make my own tea. We'll do it for you. So it was a real, like,
And volunteers
The
were
TLC
so
was amazing,
nice
yeah.
as well, weren't they? Volunteers were genuinely.
it's kind of you just want to take them home with you as well. And also, it was a good opportunity for me to moan about the people at home that were caring for me, maybe not doing something quite right, you know, and having a good old moan about other halves, and you know, sometimes they just don't get it, or then you know, like you know, my dad. I can remember my dad taking me out for a ride in the car one day because he thought I needed to get out. Actually, I just wanted to stay in bed, but I went out in the car with him and I was exhausted when I got back. But, you know, it's how they're managing as well, isn't it? And, just coming in and having a bit of a gripe about stuff.
It felt like you could almost be a bit selfish. Yeah. Because while you were here, you really were just thinking about yourself and not anybody else.
Exactly, yeah.
absolutely.
Kate was organising her funeral.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually had my funeral going through my mind. I can remember it was Rihanna, Shine Like a Diamond, or whatever. I thought, I'm going to have that for my funeral, and you know, you just think the worst. I think it's just human nature.
Let's
So
not
you
forget,
hope for the best and
I
fear
met-
the worst.
I met
don't
the
you?
vicar here and ended up getting christened.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vicar
Yeah, I remember,
from here had me
I
christened.
remember saying to you, Kate, what did you decide to get buried in? And you said, I've got these really nice, lovely pair of pyjamas. Absolutely love. Have you still got them?
No.
Good.
No.
So yeah, I even got christened out the back
And you
of
got
being
married
here.
as well in the same period.
Yeah, I did. Got married,
Yeah.
got christened. Yeah,
Did you christen you here?
just at the church next door. It was the lady. Do you remember the lady? I can't remember her name.
Did she put the water on in it?
Everything. In fact, she did go out.
How did you feel when that happened? Because it was obviously, or did you feel like you needed to do it?
I felt like it's not something I'd ever thought about.
No.
But all of a sudden, I felt like it was really important. And yeah, we had some long conversations about it actually.
And did the hospice organise it?
Yeah. I did the dragon boat race.
Did you?
This year, yeah.
This
And,
year, Zee?
Yeah,
Did you?
Came third.
You didn't say that. You didn't say. We could have sponsored you.
We'd have come and watch.
I know it was very short notice, but no,
Throwing things at you.
I did it with Ian's company at work. Yeah. We came third by 0.1 of a second, I believe. Photo finish. It was a really good day, actually a really fun day. Really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't expect to get as wet as I got.
You didn't fall in.
But we were all like a really competitive. Obviously, Ian's super competitive,
And you.
and I am as well. But everybody that was in our boat was as well. So we just went for it. It's absolutely brilliant.
I'd have sunk.
I would have just fallen overboard.
I'd have just been puking with seasickness.
Oh no.
It's really, and they have like people that come in and actually do it, so they teach you how to do it faster. So of course we just absorbed it. So yeah, really good day. We should, yeah. I think
Brilliant.
we can try and get another team together to do it next year. I couldn't actually imagine going through what I went through without the support of this. I think.
No.
I think it had been a really lonely, kind of dark place. I think actually.
It's a positive thing coming out of something really negative because, well, we've forged our friendships over the years because of it. And, for me, it was just some things, I moved back in with my mum and dad and they really struggled with it, seeing their daughter ill. Whenever I used to take my wig off in front of my dad, he used to get upset. And just to be able to come in and speak to like-minded people and not feel as though you have to hold back, because I always felt like I had to protect my mum and dad from it quite a lot, So to come in and just speak to other people and literally just say, actually, I feel absolutely awful today and I'm fed up with this. And I don't know how I'm going to do these next 3 chemos, because you've still got this long road ahead of you. And, and it was great. It was just...
I think that's
for it not to be here, it would be horrendous.
Well, and actually, from our point of view, I suppose that's a really good point for me in terms of our compliance with our treatment and our ability to get through our treatment.
Yeah.
Actually was aided by coming here. It wasn't just a luxury, was it?
No.
It sounds like a luxury, but actually it really helped us thrive.
And the holistic side of all that.
And also we
taking
used to
time.
give each other tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Your mouth used to feel like I'd been sucking on 2p pieces, and and people would say, well, why don't you try having this tea that I'm drinking really helps. And
the thing is, there's not sort of questions you'd phone the clinician or a busy oncologist up with for, are there? So who else are you going to ask?
yeah,
And
Where
it's even just, I take this to the chemo suite with me, because I used to be in there for 8 hours a day.
yeah.
And just kind of, knowing to take some warm socks, or knowing that you're not going to get a signal on your phone in there, or, all those sorts of things. It's just...
Yeah, no, this has got to stay, because the other thing that I did at the time, there was a Facebook group, which I guess there's probably a lot more of these days, but obviously you just don't get the hands-on approach there, and but no, it's, and obviously, my mum had bowel cancer, unfortunately, about 5 years after my diagnosis, and we used to have the hospice nurses come round to the house, and it was just, again, some respite for, some time for us to just take a bit of a breather, so, yeah.
It's really important, isn't it? Because there is life after cancer, and there's life in long-term conditions, and actually all the focus is always on about the dying process. We're on about the living process.
It's kind of
Exactly
living with
that.
cancer, isn't it, rather than dying of it.
I always feel like part of what happened here taught me, because I felt like I'd kind of, given up a bit. Do you know what I mean? Because the treatment was so hard sometimes. I'm going to try not to go upstairs. Because treatment was so hard sometimes. And the thing is coming here made me feel like I could just be myself, and I could just talk about what I wanted to talk about. And to not have had that, I just don't know how I would have coped.
Yeah.
I honestly just don't know how I would have coped, because I just think, I was so low anyway. And coming to the hospice was a real pick me up, being able to have those conversations, being able to, do crafts, being able to sit and have a laugh. And we did laugh. We did, we cried, we laughed, and everything in between. But it just, I always, without fail, felt better, like when I'd been to the hospice and and been in this environment, I always inevitably felt better afterwards.
Yeah.
More able to cope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's not like it's just a nice thing to have. It felt
No.
like it's a must-have, isn't it?
It felt like it gave me the tools to be able to do, to be what I needed to be at home and to cope.
Yeah. So if it wasn't here, I think the clinical outcomes would get worse. I think the reliance on GPs,
But this service
mental health services,
This service
would go
just
up.
doesn't exist in other parts of the country, does it?
No.
No.
At all. So
I feel very fortunate that we had it available to us.
Yeah.
And on quite honestly, how on earth would I have met you three if we weren't all at the hospice together?
Yeah.
Because our paths just wouldn't have crossed.
No.
And we've done so much together as well.
We have, yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun things.
Yeah. Which
lot
is
of
what
fun
it's all
times.
about when you've been through something like we've been through. You know, you've got to make the most of every day.
Because we are the only
Absolutely.
people we know who have been through exactly what we have at exactly the same time with the same support, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we remember we recreated a couple of years ago a mosaics evening. So
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah.
because we'd done mosaics here, hadn't we? And we,
Yeah.
we must recreate that. We went and did you
was
find
a
it, Louise?
Yeah,
Christmas
we went and
time,
did
wasn't
Christmas. We went and did mosaics for just before Christmas, didn't we? And we all did some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got a bauble that I put on my tree. You know.
That was really good fun.
It was really good.
So yeah, skills for life. That's what we're after.
Skills for life, yeah. And resilience for life, because the things we learn here aren't just
Yeah.
resilience at that time, were they? Resilience for
Yeah.
life in general, I think. But so the support, post recovery support still exists with us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
That we've created ourselves, I guess.
yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and I think the thing is even you're the people that I would not be afraid of talking to about anything, because I think you've probably seen me at my absolute worst. So, whereas not many people probably have.
And it's the other things as well, like we all kind of lost the ability to have children.
Yeah.
That's something that's glossed over because you just have to be grateful that you're alive.
Yeah.
And to have those conversations as well where it all like...
Well, yeah, I mean, I can remember thinking when I was diagnosed, you know, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have a chemical menopause. So that's basically going to throw me into turning into an old lady, you know, effectively 10 years before I should be getting my menopause. And obviously the oncologists, their main purpose is to keep you alive.
Yeah.
They're not bothered,
No.
and it should change really, but they're not bothered about, you know, women going into an early menopause. And I mean, that's a massive, massive deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
going through fertility treatment when I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
So that was how I was diagnosed, because my breast cancer was already stage 3 when I was diagnosed, and I literally was taking like a fertility drug, and
Which I suppose...
which made your boobs all lumpy.
Yeah.
And then they sort of said, oh well, they'll go down if there's in a couple of weeks. And then there was one lump that didn't disappear. And then when I got it checked out, and it was stage 3 breast cancer, and I was like, and they just said it had obviously already been there, but I didn't know anything about it. But at that point, it was like, you know, it felt like it was the size of like an egg yolk.
Yeah, yeah.
It just went from nothing to that, just literally overnight.
Well, I can remember feeling mine through like a padded t-shirt bra, so it was big. And I can remember going through all the tests, and obviously they don't say anything, but you know, I kind of got the general gist that it wasn't going to be good news. And then when it came to it, I can remember the oncologist saying, "Are you in a relationship at the moment?" And I'm like, "No." And they said, "Oh, well, you know, normally we would suggest you freezing your eggs, but, you know, if you're not in a relationship, we need to get treatment into you as soon as possible, so we strongly recommend that you don't." So I was like, "Oh, okay then." So I didn't. But, you know, it's just such a big deal. But as I say, from an oncologist's point of view, you know,
They make you better, don't you?
yeah, they
Yeah.
just want to keep you alive, get the treatment in you. They're not,
Yeah.
it's not their department to think
Kind of
about
when the
anything
cancer
else.
treatment's done, that's when they're, oh,
Yeah, here we go, yeah.
oh, here's the menopause.
And it's amazing to think that, you know, for us three, you have this lump in your breast. You either have your breast removed or the lump removed. But actually, that's just the start of it.
Yeah.
It's the myriad
That's like the
issues. I
easy
mean,
bit, really.
I never realised when I had my lymph nodes out under my arm that I'd have to have physiotherapy on my arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then obviously it's all the effects of the chemotherapy and the lasting effects of chemotherapy is just monumental, you know.
And those questions that you have when you walk out of the oncologist's office, where else, as I said earlier, where else do you go with those questions? But you could come here and ask
Yeah.
the physio that was here, or the counsellor to have talked you through it, or the
nurse.
or the nurse, or your friends, or
Yeah.
whatever. But actually, there was somewhere to go and ask those questions that you don't remember to ask or think to ask when you're in in the oncology
Well,
unit.
and also as well, the oncologist doesn't always necessarily want to answer those questions or even think about what's behind those questions, because like you say, they're just interested in getting rid of the cancer and that's it. They're almost not looking at the person, and I think that's the difference between from being under an oncologist and well, for me anyway, my experience was that I felt like I was on a bit of a factory line when I was at the hospital with getting all my treatment, chemo, the Herceptin and all that. But when I came here, I actually feel like a person, and I felt like I was listened to,
Yeah.
and that I could talk to people about things that I couldn't talk about otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, that was just so valuable, and I just can't imagine anybody having gone through that and not having that available to them. It'd just be horrible.
But if we talk about friends we know, they only know about this place because we've told them, don't we?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real pity, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously in my line of work, I used to refer people here as well. But even then, I got the response from them that I gave when I was advised to.
It's really
give
hard
it a
trying to
try.
convince people that actually they're coming to somewhere really, really good and it's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
But when you've been hit with loads and loads of bad news and your anxiety's high, as soon as you hear that word, hospice,
Yeah.
you just think it's something more sinister, don't you?
And you automatically think cancer, but obviously people come here with other kind of life-limiting
Illnesses,
conditions as well.
yeah,
And
exactly.
if you think hospice, people just think cancer, don't they? That's kind of your go-to, but it's not just it's not just that at all.
No.
You kind of forget, don't you?
Yeah,
suppose.
no. I think really, I don't know where I would have been in my journey without the hospice, and I always try and support the hospice if I see any raffles or anything going on to support it and things like that. And I just think it's so important. But I honestly feel that people aren't fully aware of the services that the hospice offers. And certainly for me, I mean,
I think if people were, they would donate more.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, because you never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah,
And it's very, very easy for someone that's not been through it to not understand what it's about.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or you might need it, or any member of your family, and the cancer rates are huge, or long-term conditions are huge, aren't they?